Hello?
Hello?
We have survivors in a building. Do you copy?
Welcome to Cynic Critique, where we get real with cult films. I'm your host Brian, and I'm here with my brother and co-host, my bro-host, Thomas.
Hello.
This week we are stuck in the confines of our HQ, and paranoia is starting to set in on who or what is outside as we discuss 2011's The Divide and 2017's It Comes at Night.
Well, now I'm just paranoid. I think you know what I'm going to talk about.
I don't think I do.
I don't believe it. I'll kick us up anyway. The Divide, directed by Javier Jean.
Well, groups break down into self-interest during times of scarcity.
And written by Carl Mueller and... Aaron Sheehan. I've got a lot of them typed there.
I thought you were having my problem and not being able to read your writing.
No, I just blocked it up. It's all together.
Okay.
It's on a budget of $3 million and it grossed. I don't think you'll believe this. Oh, you probably will actually.
2 million.
Way off.
500,000.
Way off.
6 million.
Way off. It grossed worldwide $145,676.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. Synopsis reads, survivors of a nuclear attack are grouped together for days in the basement of their apartment building, where fear and dwindling supplies wear away at their dynamic. And it stars Lauren German as Ava, Michael Biehn as Mickey, Milo Ventimiglia as Josh, Courtney B. Vance as Delvin, Ashton Holmes as Adrian, Rosanna Arquette as Marilyn, Ivan Gonzalez as Sam, and Michael Eklund as Bobby. I'm just trying to get to that, to be fair.
It's criminal that Michael Eklund's at the bottom, right?
I know. I feel like he's the most memorable part of this film.
He's a great actor. I'm not sure if he's Canadian himself, but he crops up in a lot of TV stuff. He's a really good character actor.
Yeah, fantastic. Especially in this. He's got a real meaty part to play in this, I feel.
Yeah, because I feel he does more than Courtney B. Vance, Ashton Holmes. Not sure about Rosanna Arquette because she's quite doing a lot with nothing. And then Ivan Gonzalez as Sam, he's almost a background character in a way.
Yeah.
He's very passive with people.
Yeah, I'd put Michael Eklund in the top 4.
Yeah, I would have.
But apparently his name's not big enough to sell this movie.
I remember getting this film on DVD when it released.
I got this film on DVD.
Oh, I remember watching it, and I've never been excited about watching it because of the cast.
Yeah.
It's got Kyle Reese in it.
Yeah.
And Peter Petrelli from Heroes.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And Michael Eklund from that episode of Smallville.
Where he was a janitor.
Yeah.
Is that the one you're referring to?
It's the only one he's there.
Great stuff. You could have had Blood Drive. You could have had Winona Earp. Is he not the main villain in Blood Drive?
No, that's Colin Cunningham from Falling Skies.
Oh.
If you're thinking of the, are you thinking of the ringleader thing of the whole setup?
I'm thinking of like the announcer guy.
Yeah, that's Colin Cunningham. Is it Colin Cunningham? From Falling Skies, anyway.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
If Michael Eklund's in it, he's not that character anyway.
Damn.
He might have a small part, but I don't remember him.
No, he was in Winona Earp.
Yeah.
That same year.
Yeah, as the main villain of that.
Yeah, I got my threads crossed.
What's Colin Cunningham, though?
Yeah, it was, yeah. I love the fact you remember his name.
I was shocked I remembered his name, to be fair.
I find this a great film. It's not so much a narrative film, though, is it? It's more of a mood piece.
Oh, yeah.
I've wrote.
Yeah, mood piece for sure.
Yeah.
I'm quite surprised. Well, I'm not surprised, really. Critics didn't like it, did they? Because they didn't. Apparently, it was too nihilistic.
Yeah, which I think is a poor reason as a critic to not like anything.
Yeah.
If anything, I would probably say having no narrative would be a weakness, but I don't think it was made to be a narrative. Not everything needs a narrative.
No.
So I think it's a poor reason to say that it's just too nihilistic.
Yeah.
It's also quite pessimistic, but nihilism and pessimism can be seen similarly anyway, I think.
Yeah.
But it's almost like a group character study, isn't it? About how people, when they're isolated in such a claustrophobic setting with limited resources, start to, I guess, deteriorate and depravity somehow kicks in at some point. And
Oh, yeah, depravity for sure.
yeah. So it's almost like a reflection on society, I would say. It's like a microcosm of society.
Yeah.
You know, each person, I guess, would represent a certain country or culture kind of thing. And it shows you what happens when they're left in a cooking pot for X amount of time, that you're bound to get fractions.
Yeah.
A divide, as the film calls it.
Yeah, the divide.
Yeah. I also feel due to the nuclear event, which mostly just seems like an event to happen to explain the way why they're all trapped together for the whole purpose to happen.
Yeah.
Because you actually see the bomb go off at the beginning.
Yeah.
But due to that, and I think the fact it's set in New York, I think it's set in New York.
Yeah.
It's filmed in Canada, but it's set in New York.
Yeah.
So it makes it feel like a rather late response to 9/11.
Yeah.
Especially when 9/11's quite a theme around Michael Bean's character of Mickey.
Yeah.
Who was apparently more racist in the original script.
Yeah, I saw that. I was just thinking, well, I wasn't really thinking like how much more clear of being, but because he
Quite a bit more, right? But
yeah. So I think he's quite not.
I feel they give him enough reason to be.
Yeah.
With what he's seen, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I'm not supporting racism at all, but from his angle anyway.
Yeah.
I think it kind of makes sense.
I really like the character complexities in this.
Yeah. There's a lot with what they do more than what they say, I think, as well, which I quite like.
Yeah. They definitely do a lot. I don't know how long they were supposed to have been down there. But you do get like a nice little montage thing. Yeah. And it don't seem like that long's passed after that.
Exactly. That's, other than no narrative, which doesn't bother me anyway, the biggest problem for me is you don't know the amount of time that's passed while I've been down there.
But in a way that kind of helps because as a viewer you don't know, and I guess them as characters maybe not even know.
Yeah, I think
well.
I've never actually thought of that, but yeah, because you can lose track of time when you're so.
Yeah.
They're not getting any daylight either, are they? You know, so
like, for all we know, that could have been like just 2 weeks or
2 months. It really could have been though.
Yeah, I think it does it quite well.
Yeah.
And like the performances alone, they're just really worth watching this for. And so,
down the cinematography, I hope I'm going to say the name right because they're French. Laurent Baz or Bears?
Yeah.
Yes, might be silent. I don't understand French.
Yeah, they did one of your favourite films.
But
Hitman.
Yeah, they were the cinema hit on the front. Yes. Hitman starring Timothy Elephant.
Yeah.
I'm not correcting that either. I said it wrong and I'm keeping it that way. Timothy Elephant. Because if we've got large elephants called Oliphants in Lord of the Rings, Timothy Oliphant now has to be Elephant, if you ask me.
Okay.
But he was the cinematographer on Inside.
Yeah. Not the remake of Inside, but...
No, the original French version with Le Femme.
I worked on, is it Frontier or Frontiers? With the...
Is that a TV series? Or a mini-series type thing?
It's a movie.
Oh.
Because it's one of the French, what do you call them? Like Inside.
Extremity horror?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. It's one of them. Also by Xavier Jean. So I
don't mean all these films are going to be French Extremity.
I don't know. I think that's a problem with this. I think he kind of knows the darker side of things and can kind of tap into that. And I think for American audiences...
It's a bit too much.
Yeah.
To be honest, the darker and more disturbing a film can be or a piece of fiction can be, I will just lap it up. Yeah. I'm a sucker for that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
There's some really weird stuff about this film, in the trivia anyway, I think.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Mickey's character became less racist due to improvisation, because apparently a lot was improvised.
Yeah.
For an example, Michael Eklund improvised the scene where he repeats Mickey's magic trick, taking the mick out of him.
Yeah.
And defecating in front of him was apparently improvised as well.
Yeah.
So Michael Eklund's in this film taking some real big swings, and I'm there to
even suggested.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah,
but I just didn't want to say it.
All right, I want to say it. Comes with a bit more of a shock when people watch it, I guess.
But then there's weird things like the production hired a nutritionist who started the actors on a diet plan.
Yeah.
For shooting, and I guess that was to help them lose weight and so on throughout shooting because they shot this in sequence.
Yeah.
I don't feel you notice any weight loss or anything, so I'm really curious.
No, not when you see Michael Eklund in one scene. Then he still seems like he's in
from the start.
Yeah, but he seems like he's getting his like little routine in or whatever to stay fit.
Yeah, I guess. And there's a haircutting scene, and apparently it was done in one take.
Yeah,
that's on the trivia. I don't feel that's particularly impressive.
No.
Everyone had sat still to have their haircut.
Yeah, and especially when I think they cut that scene a bit.
It's very short, yeah. The scene, not the haircut.
Yeah.
But Milo was originally auditioned to play Adrian.
Yeah.
Which was Ashton Holmes' character.
Yeah.
He wanted to play the more antagonistic role of...
Josh.
Yes, Josh. And so he advised his mum not to watch it, basically forbade her from watching it, apparently.
Yeah.
Due to how disturbing, I guess, and dark his character was.
Yeah.
But his mother didn't obey his blessings of not watching the film.
Yeah, and apparently questioned his well-being.
Yeah, she asked if he'd had a traumatic experience when he was younger as she was concerned about his mental state, which I find quite funny. Like, his character's dark and stuff, but I don't think it's even close to one of the darkest characters I've seen in a film, so...
No.
Did you see what the original title for this would have been?
Yeah, there were two original titles. One was The Shelter,
Yeah.
and then they seemed to opt for the Fallout after that, and then they decided that was too close as Fallout 3 was around that time as well.
3 years prior. Fallout 3 was 3 years prior.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, it could have been like a year or
Yeah.
two after, a year after when they started writing. But I just don't know why they didn't go back to The Shelter. But I think The Divide is a better title.
The Fallout works for the same thing.
Yeah, but I do think The Divide is a better title.
Yeah, but the Fallout's thematic to the explosion thing.
Yeah.
I don't mind The Shelter, to be honest, but it's not as, I don't know.
I think The Shelter would have been a bit too, as a title that would put people in a more optimistic look than the film.
Speaking of optimism,
Where are you going with this?
the end.
The end.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the end now?
It doesn't instill optimism even at the end, is what I was going to say.
Right.
I quite like the ominity of the ending.
Yeah.
I do think the poster for this is tripe.
There's two. There's what I have is the DVD cover, and that is bad.
Yeah.
I really don't like that. And then there is like a better one where you get like the city in destruction and then just like the cast. It's like
And they spread about like they're on a board game.
you make it sound like one of the early like 2000s TV series promo charts. You know them where it's just got the cast sort of like all about.
Yeah, I guess. But I was thinking more of like the board game Risk and the little counters.
No. It's like a closer up image.
Right.
And they're just all like together and it's like clearly in the bunker thing.
Well, it was a
or
basement.
Basement, whatever you want to call it.
You don't get much history on these characters. I think Michael Bean's character of Mickey's the closest one because they explain that he's the super of the building and he lives in the basement.
Yeah. That's his little bunker.
And luckily he'd made like I guess like one of them survivalists, wasn't he? Because he had that little cupboard storage of all the food and that they end up having to share and big water butts and stuff.
I thought he was a great character.
I find him quite appealing because they go into him about being like a fireman during 9/11.
Yeah.
And I think that's where he's supposed to have lost his wife. And then
Yeah.
they've got a real life image of his wife as a photo that he stares at longingly.
Yeah.
And it's like, Michael, she's actually alive in real life. You just go over and see it.
That's how good of an actor he was. It made you believe she was dead.
I've seen people say he's quite over the top in this film, and it's what you get from him in all his performances, but I disagree. I find him quite
Human.
real
Yeah.
in a lot of his performances.
No, I think he plays this part really well. I think after years of not seeing him just disappear from films, well, he was still doing films, but you know what I mean? Like
They weren't going anywhere. It lost
Yeah.
traction, I guess.
Yeah. Not in the 2000s anyway. I don't remember seeing him.
But if you've looked at who should have been in this, it was originally going to star Melissa George,
Yeah. Actually.
Sean William Scott, Robert Patrick, and Rafael Personas.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with him. I'm guessing he would have been Michael Eklund's character of Bobby. Just
I
to get-
thought he'd have been Sam, but I'm not sure.
I would have said Melissa George would have been Eva.
Yeah, definitely.
Sean William Scott, I think, would have been Josh, because this is around his time where he's trialing different stuff.
Yeah. If it weren't Josh, it'd have been Bobby, Michael Eklund's character for sure.
And then Robert Patrick was definitely going to be Mickey, right?
I thought Ava, personally.
It's just like, we lost our Terminator star. Let's get a Terminator star.
Yeah. So they got Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. I don't know when they were cast, because apparently this had to be delayed
Yeah.
due to Iceland's... Okay, this may be butchered on the pronunciation of a volcano
I heard
in
him
Iceland,
in this for ages.
but it weren't for ages.
Felt like ages.
Kutul, I think. It's not said how it looks, I can tell you that
I
much.
was going to say, there's no T in that.
Yeah, well, that's how I was taught through a 2-minute YouTube video. And I practiced, but being dyslexic,
It's for ages.
I really struggle with foreign languages. I struggle with English the best of days. But the Icelandic volcano erupted, which delayed air travel, which delayed shooting. Yet it filmed in Canada.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it was only the director and his cinematographer that couldn't travel.
Probably.
Why don't they just film it in France with French people?
Don't know. 'Cause the music guy didn't have to travel, did he? Neither did them.
I guess it's more believable that it was somebody nuking America than it is France.
Yeah. I don't know if people in America should be paranoid about it.
I think they've got more enemies than friends.
Not that you have any nuclear missiles, I'm certain you don't. Well,
That we know of.
this is what I mean. I just don't trust you anymore.
That's that paranoia.
Yeah, I mentioned the music guy. That Jean-Pierre Tabe. I don't know how to pronounce that.
One of them's called Tuca.
Yeah, also known as Denny Arafovsky.
Never heard of him.
They're apparently a musician.
All right,
I
okay.
don't know if they did the song at the end though. I like the fact this movie was at a $3 million budget and they have a proper song done for it. Why? I don't know. Just kind of made me laugh the fact they thought this film needed a song doing.
Honestly, quite hurt by how little money this made.
Yeah.
Christ knows how the director felt. He's just come off Hitman, that massive successful movie with Timothy Elephant.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy who did music, Jean-Pierre Tabe, I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. But he also worked on Frontiers. Or Frontier. However you say that one. Frontier, I think, because but the S is silent. Probably. It's the French trying to mess with me again. Because Xavier Jean has an S at the end of his name. That's apparently not pronounced.
But I quite like this. You could even, if it weren't for actually seeing the bomb at the beginning, you could easily say this was like a Godzilla movie from a human perspective.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess.
You know, the New York's just been blasted by some atomic breath. And
The sequel to the 98 Godzilla
oh, I'd love that. It really needs one.
had an animated series.
I know that was great too.
Yeah.
Maybe better than the film.
Yeah, it was. I think that animated series is probably my favourite Godzilla. I know there was -1 the other year, but I'm going with the animated series.
Is this director of Inside then?
No.
Okay.
No, he just borrowed the cinematographer.
Okay. I mean, cinematography is great. He's a really good cinematographer. I should watch more of what he's done because his stuff on Inside was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. He knows where to put the camera.
I should hope so. He's a cinematographer.
I've got nothing more to say about The
I was
Divide,
just about to say,
but I'm starting to worry about what comes at night.
don't like your segues.
The man that invented them rode off a cliff on one, killed himself. So It Comes at Night, 2017.
I think they're sick.
Put your mask on. Nobody's sick here.
Can't trust anyone but family.
Written and directed by Trey Edward Schultz. He's only done 2 other features, indie dramas, Krisha and Waves.
Yeah.
The synopsis, as IMDb has it, is secure within a desolate home as an unnatural threat terrorizes the world. A man has established a tenuous domestic order with his wife and son. Then a desperate young family arrives seeking refuge. The movie's budget was made on $5 million and worldwide gross was $19,735,344. So it did better than The Divide.
Oh, yeah. This actually made back like 4 times its money nearly.
It stars Joel Edgerton as Paul, Christopher Abbott, the Wolfman Will. Sorry, he's in the new Wolfman movie from Lee Whannell. Carmen Ejogo, I think I'm saying her name right, as Sarah. Riley Keough as Kim. Kelvin Harrison as Travis. And Griffin Robert Faulkner as Andrew.
Thought you were going to and Mikey Stanley.
I was going to get to that,
I don't know.
probably while I talk about the film.
He's just a big part of the cast for me.
MVP.
Yeah.
Great dog acting. Only credit as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Shocking. I didn't look.
This was also Griffin Robert Faulkner's first feature film. I think he'd worked on a short or a TV series episode before doing this.
Well,
And then he went on to doing Raising Dion, produced by Michael B. Jordan, that superhero show on Netflix that I can't find the comic of, even though it's an adaptation. He also starred in Creepypasta a few years ago, an actual film, I'm guessing, based on the Creepypasta internet sensation stuff. And Daniel Isn't Real, which was a bit of an indie drama that came and left and no one knew about it.
Well, he's not real.
Kelvin Harrison was B.B. King in Elvis.
Nice.
And then he also worked with the director-writer again on Waves, but he appears in The Trial of Chicago 7, and he's currently in Mufasa the Lion King.
Good on him.
Whereas Carmen Ejogo, who was Sarah, she was recently seen as Eve Carlo in The Penguin. And she was also in Selma, Purge Anarchy, and whatever the first Fantastic Beasts film is.
Dunno.
I didn't care enough to write the full name.
No. What a great movie that is.
I don't know, I've not seen it.
Neither have I. But I've heard bad things.
But no, similar to the last film, I don't feel there's a narrative here, but more so than the last, I would say.
Yeah.
But it's also a character piece, similar.
Yeah.
The themes of trust, survival, paranoia are there.
Yeah.
This time the divide is there from the start, I would say, because you've got one family dynamic set up and another comes in, and
Yeah.
Edgerton's character, Paul, doesn't seem to want to trust Will at all. He's like, I need to survive, so I can't trust you, instead of working together, when Will seems to do nothing but display reason to trust.
Yeah. Joel Edgerton's great, isn't it?
He is. From watching this, because this came out after The Last of Us came out, I was like, I want Joel Edgerton to play Joel in The Last of Us for sure. He'd have been great.
Yeah.
As for the title, It Comes at Night, what is the it? Their cast had signed a non-disclosure agreement, apparently, has had the crew to forbid them from revealing what comes at night.
Yeah. Which, when you watch it, I think it's kind of clear.
I'm not so sure.
No.
I think it's quite ominous and ambiguous on purpose.
Yeah. I really like how it's done anyway.
Yeah, because we've got Travis, who seems to have a fear of getting infected, because it seems like there's an infection, like disease about. They wear gas masks when they go out.
Yeah.
And Travis seems to have a fear of catching it, because it looks like his granddad Bud had died from this infection, and he seems to have nightmares about them.
Yeah.
So he seems paranoid about that, and he's having these nightmares constantly, it seems, throughout the film. Which, I don't know if you noticed, the aspect ratio changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes from like full frame to a letterbox view when he's in the dreams.
Yeah.
Which is what's cool about the end, because towards the end, the letterbox framing slowly comes in
Yeah. Yeah.
for the last scene.
It's really well done.
Definitely.
Great filmmaking on this, I think.
Yeah. It was one of my favourites of that year.
Probably was my favourite. Was that
Seems like a long time ago now.
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great film. Love it. Though I think this is only like my second time watching it since 2017, so like 8 years later.
Yeah. There's also a painting that features at the beginning of this film. I don't know if this is true or not, because it seems like anybody can write trivia on IMDb.
Yeah.
But the painting's called The Triumph of Death, and it's by Peter Rogel the Elder. and it's from roughly 1562. And if that's the name of that painting, then I think that definitely highlights a big part of this film's theme, which I think is death.
Yeah.
Especially as it's very easy to say that the red door that Paul makes sure is locked at night and only he and his wife have the key seems to be a symbolism of death, I guess, as well.
Yeah. And it's not the same red door from Insidious. This is no relation.
Oh, I thought it was.
Maybe not just a word I say.
I don't, anyway, I'm paranoid.
Speaking of trusting things in IMDb and people who can put anything on there, I'm guessing you saw the thing about Stephen King apparently wrote a...
Yeah, the original treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, nah.
And he swore the production company to secrecy because he didn't want to be credited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that hard to believe. Because I've seen a lot of Stephen King adaptations. I'll be honest, I've never read a single novel of his.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of adaptations, and I don't think any of them are actually this clever.
Yeah.
This even has a better ending than any Stephen King film I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't believe Stephen King did this at all.
Yeah, because it isn't even like Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, well, Pennywise. Where was Pennywise if it comes at night?
Yeah.
There weren't even a red balloon.
Yeah.
You'll float too. You'll float too. Is that what they say in it?
Something like that.
I sound quite down on Stephen King now. I'm actually not. Some of his films are all right.
No, you don't like him.
I mean, The Mist is my favourite one from his, which would probably pair quite well with this as well.
Yeah, that was one of the top
Yeah.
contenders when we were doing 3.
Yeah. And they changed the ending of The Mist movie from the book.
Yeah.
And even Stephen King admits the end of the movie's better.
Yeah. Not something I'd do if I was a writer.
Change the end.
No, I admit that someone did a better ending and really be adamant.
Be really disparaging about it. No, it's terrible.
I just don't know how you can be so down on the Shining.
It was all going beautifully, and then you changed the end.
Speaking of Stephen King, the Shining movie and Night of the Living Dead are not the Night of the Living Dead Stephen King, but just the fact they were inspirations for this film as well.
Okay.
Especially the Overlook Hotel from The Shining.
Really?
Yeah, because the house layout is deliberately
Off kilter. Kind of
vague, and you not really know the layout yourself, so it feels like some sort of labyrinth.
Yeah.
Other inspirations cited were Paul Thomas Anderson and John Cassavetes. I'm guessing it's because Paul Thomas Anderson, his films usually are more character driven and things like that.
Yeah.
I feel like this is because you even said that. And when I looked up John Cassavetes, he's like an old director from like 50s sort of era. A lot of his films were, a lot of critics said that his weren't story driven, they weren't visually amazing, and it's because he wanted to focus on character in his films as well, like complexities and things like that. He did Shadows, Faces, and A Woman Under the Influence.
Okay, I've heard of The Woman Under the Influence. It's supposed to be a great one. It's one I've been meaning to get to for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, similar with the cinematographer on this, though.
Yeah.
Because it's Drew Daniels, who worked a lot with Sean Baker. He did Anora, Red Rocket,
Yeah.
Florida Project. And a lot of Baker's films are more character studies, I guess, than narrative.
Yeah.
This is more of a character study, I would say, than The Divide.
Yeah.
The Divide is definitely more of a mood piece, because with It Comes at Night, I think it's trying to put you in Travis's perspective
Yeah.
a little more. Whereas The Divide, I guess you've got Eva, but it's not so much focused on her that she's the audience's in.
Yeah.
She's just the closest thing, I guess, to somebody that seems to be trying to make decisions in a way an objective view that's not within that setting, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But Travis seems to be the heart of this film.
Yeah.
Especially when the second family show up, he seems to want to trust them and be more open with them.
Yeah.
I guess he clearly also gets a crush on Riley Keough's character as well, because he seems to stare at her a lot when he can, doesn't he? But I guess that's also from lack of interaction, because I don't think does it actually state how long the world's been like this. I don't think it
I don't remember.
truly says it, does it? I mean, it has to have been long enough that Joel Edgerton managed to become a teacher for a while.
Yeah.
That's someone's favourite trivia in this.
I was about to say.
He's a teacher in this, and he's a teacher in Warrior.
Yeah, his previous film or something like that.
I don't think it was the film directly before this, though.
No.
I can check.
Just check it. It might be the more known film before this.
Still, but he went Joel in The Last of Us.
I know. Joel for Joel is what you've been saying since 2017, apparently.
Yep. 8 years of it.
Yeah.
I would even say it to Pedro Pascal's face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would as well.
I would get right up to him, look him in the eye, and like, yo, Pedro, Joel for Joel, and you know it.
Yeah.
And I would say nothing more. I'll drop a microphone and walk away. He'll wonder where the microphone came from, because it wasn't there when I turned up.
Yeah. And then he'll go on his phone, talk to his agent, and he'll say, yeah, Joel Kinnaman should have been Joel in The Last of Us.
You said The Warrior was his previous one before this, yeah?
I thought that's what the trivia on IMDb said.
Warrior,
Wrong.
2011. The Thing, 2011.
Yeah.
Huh.
Interested.
Yeah. Then we've got Wish You Were Here, Zero Dark 30 in 2012, The Captain in 2013, The Great Gatsby in 2013, Felony in 2013, Exodus, Gogs and Gods and Kings in 2014.
Put it this way, I thought the person who put it up on...
The Gift in
Put it this way,
2015.
I thought the person who put it up on trivia, I thought might have just put it there because it was the previous film. I gave them more credit than I should have. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think you've read the trivia wrong because I don't think it says his previous film. I think it says a previous film.
I don't know. I just remember reading it.
I didn't write the trivia for that down at all because I thought it's not interesting. One piece of trivia I did find quite interesting about this, to be honest, was when shooting the scene where Paul interrogates Will, the boom operator sat in a tree for half the day to record the audio correctly.
Yeah.
And I just love the idea of this poor guy holding his boom for half a day sat in a tree. Must have been so uncomfortable. You know, I did my share of tree climbing when I was young, and I can't imagine ever wanting to sit in one for half a day.
No.
Although if somebody said, I bet you can't sit in that tree for half a day, I'd be like, yeah, I can. And then I would.
All right, I bet you can't go sit in that tree for half a day.
You just do that to make me do it, so I'm not doing it because that's what you exactly want me to do now.
Well, I don't think you will do it now.
I could, but I'm going to prove you right.
I don't believe you.
No,
I don't believe you.
don't. That's that paranoia.
No, it's not. I think it's your stupidity of saying that you would do it if someone said you would, and then I tell you to, and you won't do it.
Yeah, but you're purposely trying to get every action out of it, so I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it on purpose.
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
doing what you want.
You tried to manipulate me and it's not working.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No,
But I'm not doing it. I won't give in to it.
Stupid man.
I bite my thumb at thee.
What?
I bite my thumb at thee.
Is that a thing?
Romeo and Juliet.
Is it?
Shakespeare. Certain. I'll Google it.
It's like a while ago since I read it.
I bite my thumb at thee means I am deliberately insulting you.
No.
Or I am provoking you with a rude gesture.
That's disgusting. Why would you do that?
Origin. The phrase appears in Act 1, Scene 1 of Romeo and Juliet. Samson uses it to taunt the Montagues.
Put it this way, it's half my lifetime ago since I was reading that.
You've watched the film since.
You know I remember things if they're written down, not when said.
Okay.
Why do you think I write notes?
To write them, not read them.
Helps me memorize.
You've been sat there with your eyes closed this whole time.
I could, to be fair. I do remember what I've written in here. I don't really need it.
Yeah, page 9.
I don't know which page 9 is. I haven't got that listed on it.
Can't do it, can you?
I haven't got page numbers.
Can't do it.
Page 9 anyway.
You can't now go and write numbers on just so you can remember the pages, so then you can compare it at page 9 and then you'll date something from it to me.
Curious at what my page 9 is. We're counting that as page 1.
Sure, why not?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it says. I bite thy thumb at thee.
No, it doesn't. It says the top 10 of 2023. That tells you what, that would be like the first page, really, shouldn't it? What an incredible page to find at page 9, though.
It looked like it said, I bite my thumb at thee, if you ask me.
You're dyslexic.
That's true.
And I don't trust a thing you say anyway.
Please don't hold my dyspraxia against me. I don't even know if that's funny.
It's not, but I'll leave it in.
Thanks. I'm not sure what dyspraxia is. Is that the body one? Or is it shapes?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a coordination disorder.
No,
There's a chance I might have it.
I'm going to say you've definitely got that. You're too clumsy. You get biscuit in your eye.
That's true. Sometimes those crumbs just go everywhere.
That's how you get ants.
Doesn't help though, I eat like Cookie Monster.
You want ants? That's how you get ants.
Alright, Archer. Anyway, it comes at night. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching it in the cinemas. And I laugh at quite an inappropriate moment when the cinema was dead silent and in shock from a certain turn of event.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess I laugh at shocking things, it turns out.
Yeah.
Although I'm still on this rewatch, I still think that line's delivered funny.
It is quite a funny line.
Although I don't know how you would deliver it in real life anyway, so it's quite hard.
If it's like that, I love the thought of it because I know if you were there, you'd be laughing at them.
What can I say? Shocking things are funny sometimes. Especially in fiction anyway.
Yeah. I've been prone to laugh at apparently inappropriate parts in films.
Well, we laughed at the same part in whichever bad Halloween film it is where the man falls off the stairs or whatever happened.
It's a kid.
Whatever. They were fully grown, weren't they?
It was a kid.
Well, they had the thud of a man when they hit the floor. It was funny.
Sound guy that knew exactly what
It's like, this is a film. It has to be big.
he knew exactly what he was doing there. It was too comical.
It certainly was.
Well, apparently people turned around and looked at me.
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
I was too busy laughing, so I didn't really care.
There's not a lot I can really say about It Comes at Night, other than the fact that I think you have to really think about the themes of what the it is, and not so much expect a physical entity banging at the door.
Yeah. Which I think a lot of people were expecting.
It seems that way when you look at some of the reviews online.
Yeah, some people online are weird.
Yeah, I like the trailer, and the trailer didn't show anything.
I don't remember the trailer.
Oh, you're in for a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing the trailer for this.
No?
No, I don't remember
see,
watching it
I had.
and being amazed by it. And Joel Edgerton, he's just a great actor.
He is. He's fantastic. Joel for Joel.
I just want to say what a great pair of films that, to me, I feel are the first proper episode for us recording this year, really.
Oh, because the bomb was last year.
Months ago.
We literally bombed it with Oppie Talk.
Oh no, we're going to do it again.
What? Because you don't remember Joel Edgerton being in Oppenheimer?
I'm going to leave this long pause in because I'm genuinely thinking if he was in it or not.
Or is it because you don't remember Christopher Abbott in Oppenheimer?
He could have been in it. I really wouldn't know. I really don't know.
Stop this. It's horrible. I can assuredly tell you one of them was in the film, Oppenheimer.
I don't think John was in it. So I'm guessing Abbott was in it.
I don't think either of them were in it, actually. I just really want to play with this paranoia thing that's going on.
Is this going to be a thing at the end of episodes now? You're just going to ask me who was in Oppenheimer or not?
Oh, that's a really good idea, actually. I'm going to carry on that for as long as I remember to do that.
He's not doing it next week.
I mean, even if I do, you'll cut it out so you appear that you're right?
That's what I do. Is that the end of this one then?
I'm guessing so.
We said all we said.
I mean, I haven't said what I haven't said, have I?
You might have, I don't know. I haven't been listening.
Great.
I'll just go into it. So that's the end of the show. Thank you.
Oh my God, Joel! I just realised we'll be talking Joel next week as well. Sorry.
I'll get into that in a minute. So that's the end of the show. Thank you for joining us this week. And if you haven't already, click like and subscribe. A glowing review would also be appreciated. We are Cynic_critique on X and Instagram and Cynic-critique on Blue Sky. Links to those and more can be found in the show's description. And remember to join us next week as we begin 4 weeks of remakes, a series we're calling This Again, starting with, well, it's got the themes of paranoia. The Thing from Another World, The Thing, and The Thing. The prequel to The Thing.
But it does include stuff from Thing from Another World.
And Joel Edgerton.
Yes.
All right.
Joel for Joel.
Thank
In
you.
your face, Pedro.
Thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye. Adios. Au revoir.
Shut up.
Is it human or inhuman? Earthly or unearthly?